Welcome back. I have a treat for you today, and that, no pun intended. 150 plus years in the making, Italian chocolate and chocolatiers, Valenza Chocolatiers, Amy Jo Pedoni is here with me today. Nice to have you on.
Oh, it's good to see you.
And we go way back, like what, 5 or 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had interviewed you before, and you've come such a long way. With
Thank you.
awards and different kinds of chocolates that we're going to talk about. So welcome.
Well, thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about Valenza and sort of how it came about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had a career in commercial real estate lending for about 15 years, and I had that kind of moment in life that a lot of us have experienced, and my cousin had passed away of ovarian cancer, and she was 37 at the time, and it really brought me pretty much down to my core. And after going through some stuff with our family, and I kind of stepped back and evaluated my own life and realized, well, what am I doing? And those like, I have to say, if cancer gave me a gift in this whole process, is that, my cousin gave me that outlook of, you can't have any regrets. Mm-hmm. You have to figure out what your passion is. You get one chance in this life, and you better make the best of it.
Right.
And so I took that to heart. And so I was like, well, what are my passions? Like, you go to school, you get your job, you get married, you start mm-hmm. this whole path that you're supposed to be on. Mm-hmm. And so I really stepped back from it all and basically was like, what is my passion? Mm-hmm. I had no idea. And so my mom always did turtles and chocolate covered cherries at the holiday times. Mm-hmm. And so Valenza is my maiden name.
Okay.
And so I'm half Sicilian or Italian.
Okay.
I just say Sicilian because there's a thing.
There is a thing. I say Italian, but I'm supposed to say Sicilian.
I know. And so I basically was like, well, how could I sell my mom's turtles? Or how, I love, there's something about, making something and having somebody, the reaction, and that
right.
fueled me. And so on the Valenza side, my grandma was a cook by trade. When they came over from Sicily, mm-hmm. they had bakeries. So we always did the Italian cookies at Christmas. So I kind of had these two different passions.
Right.
And so I actually had found, my husband came home one day and I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna be a chocolatier. I think that's my passion. And he was just like,
what?
You have never done this,
Yeah.
the only commercial kitchen I've ever been in is in bartending in college, and I don't think that counts,
Yeah, well, but now look at the array of things that you've actually evolved into.
So
right.
I went back to school, and I'm actually a certified master chocolatier.
Okay.
And then I decided that I was going to marry my two passions. So mm-hmm. I took. Basically, everything has an Italian ingredient mm-hmm. or their old family recipe. So it's Italian-inspired artisan chocolates and confections.
Right.
I use a single bean origin fair trade chocolate out of Venezuela, very high-end fine chocolate, with no additives and preservatives. But the collection, so I do bonbons, bars, and confections. And of those, different recipes, I've taken old family cookie recipes, which, we can talk about, and made them into different flavors. Mm-hmm. When I trained in Italy, very specific pieces you'll find throughout Italy I have brought back here to Orange County mm-hmm. and make. Mm-hmm. And so basically it's taken me on this path of, I get to live my passion, and I know it, and I get to make an impact in people's lives mm-hmm. just by their when people don't know my name, and then they realize, and they're like, oh, the chocolate lady.
The chocolate lady. She is the chocolate lady. And you know what? And another thing that you also bring from Italy is you bring the molds that you make these too.
Yes, absolutely. So as we know, throughout Europe, it's obviously known for their chocolates mm-hmm. and, throughout Europe. But yes, there are specific manufacturers of different molds that I do source, and I also source specific ingredients as well.
Okay.
So, for example, the hazelnuts are from the Piedmont region of Italy, and those are their gold. So I import those. Different salts, pistachios, so mm-hmm. different things, to truly have that authentic.
Right. Well, you have to have knowledge, but you certainly do, to be able to pull this off. Now, we were lucky enough yesterday to go out to the lab and hang out with Amy Jo, and she showed us how to make a few of these items. So we're going to show that while you and I talk about
absolutely.
it. So we started off with these adorable little assortments. And what were these called?
So it's the Gucci Daddy truffle. So basically, I've taken, we make a ganache, and the Gucci Daddy cookie is a Sicilian cookie that's a fig cookie. And so I've taken the inside of that filling and have made that into a ganache. So as you see here, we have the ganache, and we're basically going to cut it to then basically make little, as we know, truffles are more of a ball, and then you roll them in cocoa powder to look like the actual mushroom. So here we're basically going ahead and we're taking that ganache and we're making it into little pieces to then proceed to dip.
Look at my gloves compared to hers. I'm like rolling in the chocolate.
You did good, Lisa.
I did okay.
Yeah.
I did okay.
So I mean, and anybody can do these at home. If you can take a basic ganache recipe, you want to make it, probably 24 hours ahead because you need it to sit, and then you can go ahead and make them. So here we're basically, sometimes you just take the ganache and you just roll it into, your cocoa powder, or, sometimes people do nuts and coconut. But I do a thin layer of chocolate over the ganache to actually keep it from drying out.
Okay.
Because I know that we're not going to have them right away.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is kind of like a fun little, I call it like pinball. So we're just doing a thin layer of chocolate over it. As you can see, I'm telling Lisa.
Lisa's playing in the mud.
Yeah, make sure you stay over your bowl so you don't create a mess. And then we're actually rolling it in a pure cocoa powder, which you can obviously find in any of your local stores. And then, like I said, it's kind of like pinball. So you just want to roll it through it, and it's as simple as that.
Right. And then the end, though. So before they just are little chocolate balls, and then you put what was that stuff you put on top?
Oh yeah, a little bit of an iridescent gold powder. So we actually want to sieve the truffles first, and that'll get rid of all that extra cocoa powder, so you don't have it on your fingers when you go ahead and enjoy it, or you plate it for your guests.
Okay, cool. And then you can see on the end there they've got the coloring, or the what is it again?
Yeah, it's like an iridescent. It's
oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah,
okay.
It's like an iridescent powder.
Okay.
That it's from gold, and these are all edible. In the pastry world.
Okay, and then you said that ganache though can be any flavor.
Yes, absolutely. You can actually just Google just a normal chocolate ganache recipe, and it's really just a 1 part to 2 part, depending on the type of chocolate, your fat in your chocolate. But you can steep the cream in. You can put coffee in it. You could put different teas and then strain it. You can add different spices and when you're making it, it's very, very simple.
Okay, excellent. So now what we're showing is these beautiful, you tell me what they are.
So at Easter I do filled Easter eggs. It's a traditional thing throughout Italy that chocolatiers do. And so what I've done now for the fall, I'm doing the pumpkin. And what we're doing here is we decorated the exterior, which actually that you start decorating the interior of the shell first, and then you're pouring out the shell to then make.
It's just amazing, the colors. I can't.
Yeah.
Tell me about the process again.
Yeah, it's a specific cocoa butter that chocolatiers use, and so you're going to paint the molds first, pour the chocolate in, then we let it sit quick, harden in the refrigerator quick, and then they pop out. And then I fill them. So that's kind of, so basically you get to carve your pumpkin, and it's chocolate inside.
Stuff inside instead of seeds and string.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little more fun to carve.
Oh my God! And we have one here that is just beautiful. The way she has packaged it up, and then there's this one that is a base of gold with all these beautiful colors, and then of course all of her other fantastic yummy things. She has the bars, and which one is this?
So that's the bourbon bar, which I know you love.
Oh, bourbon bar. Oh, Ken will want this one. No, Ken, it's mine. And then the turtles, which are my favorite. And I think just because when I was young, we bought them, and they were delicious. Of course, I didn't know you then.
Yeah.
Too bad.
And then I have so my collection rotates seasonally.
Yeah.
So this is a harvest collection. So I have like tiramisu, pumpkin spice, caramel, espresso, and then gianduja is a traditional hazelnut chocolate.
Oh, okay. All
from
right.
the northern Italy region. So you'll see.
And is this pumpkin spice?
Yes.
Oh, that one is. Oh, Ken, I got that one for you. And then you've got ornaments for Christmas and a Christmas tree.
Yes, I do. So like I said, how I was doing the egg. For Easter, I then decided to do the pumpkin, the ornament, so that'll be filled, and then I'm doing a tall Christmas tree that's just for fun. That's just kind of a little.
Now I know we have some pictures actually I would like to show because it does have a good picture of those collections you just talked about.
Absolutely.
We've got the what is it called, the Harvest Collection.
The Harvest
and that's kind of what we're
Collection's
seeing right now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then then you have a a holiday, and then what?
Valentine.
And then you go on to Valentine's.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So so then for the holidays, the flavors change. So I'm taking like the Gucci Daddy truffle will be in it that we made.
Right, and that's kind of a fig base, right?
Yes. Well, it's exactly, and the warm spices.
I mean, the tastes were just amazing, and you could taste everything you said you put in there. So
yes.
Okay, so there's the Harvest Collection
Yes.
of everything. Okay, and then the next one we can see Christmas and all those. I mean, so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, we were there yesterday, and she's like, "Well, this process takes a while," and I'm thinking, "How do you get these things out the door?" All right, and then you've got
time management.
It totally is, man. You got to get that stuff going. I can just imagine what it must look like when you're on a roll. We've got a couple events that are coming up, and you're out of the Hood Kitchen Space.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So I'm in Costa Mesa, the Hood Kitchen Space. It's an artisan shared kitchen of which I have a permanent
and it's
kitchen
awesome.
I just moved in.
It looks great. And so you've got Meet the Makers Night. Now this is really cool because every artisan that's there, not just artisan, but bake and cook, are going to be there, and you can go for free on November 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's kind of a first come, first serve thing.
Yep,
so if they run out, they run out. And then you have a Thanksgiving pop-up shop, and then you have a holiday pop-up shop.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And all that'll be on my website, and
Awesome.
have fun indulging through my website.
Yeah, you guys are going to want to go over. And so if you want to know anything about it, you just go to valenzachocolatier.com.
Absolutely.
Right? All right, well, you're so wonderful to come on.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
I am going to be eating all of this. So bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll be right back after this.